If she had only been ugly.
Hi, this is Dom Irrera here, Lots of Laugh Factory. Jessimae Peluso, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Great energy. I just met you a minute ago already. I love you. I can feel it. I can feel a magic. Maybe I should use the mic.
Yeah, should we use these
The
mics?
mic would
I'm
be
just following
nice.
your lead.
I've been doing this for about, how long, a year? Let's start without a mic. Jessimae Peluso,
We started that
first time here. MTV, you're on an MTV show, Girl Code.
That's right.
Can I don't mean to put you on the spot, but can I read the beginning of your bio to you?
I feel like you're just
you-
going to go ahead.
Have you-
Absolutely.
have you ever seen this?
I haven't seen it.
This is
Of course I've
Justin,
seen
are
it.
you ready for this?
This is going to be interesting.
Jessimae Peluso is a bottle rocket with a pulse, headed in only the expected upward trajectory of a firecracker and ready to explode. What do you got, like a missile in your twat? The self-proclaimed insecure narcissist has founded a solid comic reputation in New York City and beyond. Beyond New York City, she's already gone, slaying audiences with her unequivocal, straightforward, ravishingly raw humor. It's actually good. It's good exercise, good verbal exercise. Slamming listeners with her stances on everything from her roots in Syracuse, New York, her fear of children, and her infatuation with John Stamos. Jessimae will lay her hook in you from the moment she hits the stage. Holy shit. It's a lot of pressure. The dynamic Jessimae Peluso is an artist in the truest sense of the word, persistently out to challenge herself and her audience.
You read that really, really eloquently.
I read it like a pro, baby.
You also said I have a missile in my twat, which made me fall in love with you immediately.
I understand that there's something going on there.
I feel like you get me.
I understand. I do get you.
Yeah.
Now, you like to drink, right?
I like tequila.
Tequila?
I'm a big fan. I don't drink it before shows, but I do like tequila.
I don't know if you could tell by my Chinese-like face, but my Mongolian head, but I've been drinking every day for the last 5 years. And
Then I think you and I are best friends.
I never, it's funny because every day I wake up, I go, that's it, I'm done. But then somehow, miraculously, I feel better by 9 o'clock at night.
Is that because you've had a few?
No, because I haven't had it yet, but that's when I start.
Do you feel bad in the morning because you drank too much the night
Terrible.
before?
Yeah.
What's your drink of choice?
Whatever I can get my grubby little hands on. I drink Courvoisier. I drink Hennessy.
Oh, excuse me.
Drink Jameson mostly.
So you like dark liquor? See, I can't mess
No,
with
I
dark.
like vodka.
Okay.
I just learned to like gin. I'm trying to like more alcohols.
Oh, you're trying to diversify.
I am. And you like tequila.
I love tequila. Tequila is just, I can go through tequila, like a disgusting amount of tequila. Ship captain status.
Are you out here just for a while? You're just...
I'm out here for 2 days.
That's it?
Yeah, I was
Thanks
in-
for coming in.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
Our man did it.
I know.
Our texting.
Our boy, look at him.
He's getting us gigs.
Yeah.
You and I, we have the same demographic. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll go out on tour together.
Let's do it. We can combine them.
Did you see like these teenage girls with these fucking Goombas?
Oh my God.
She's fucking hot. Look at her. You sure she's 18, Tony?
No, she's 16.
Put her-
Perfect.
get her out of the car. I don't trust her. That'd be the funniest show ever.
That would be the best show
your
ever.
people and my people.
We'd be matchmakers.
My Guidos. Now they getting you plenty of work?
Yeah. Well, Justin works hard for me.
Yeah.
But MTV's definitely like opened the door until they changed it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I love it. He's got me out on the road all the time. I was in Missouri, and then I'm going to Columbus, Ohio after this.
You going to the Funny Bone?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I love that's the best club.
I hear it's really great.
It's great.
Yeah.
I just got back from there. Ask me how I did. Ask me how I did.
How'd you do?
I don't want to brag. Rather not talk about it. However, now that you asked,
I
must say, it's a gift. It's not me. It's God. God coming through me. I was watching the Academy Awards, and I used to open for Cher, and a long time ago.
That's
and then
insane.
Huh?
That's wild. That's really cool.
It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. But there was a backup singer on it called Darlene Love, who's really not a backup singer. And I watched her on the Academy Awards. Did you see it at all?
I didn't because I had a gig. I really wanted, yeah.
Yeah, they don't care about the Academy Awards that much in Missouri.
No, they don't. They're
in the
like, what?
self-congratulatory business that we're in. I like to say, they just start patting themselves on the back for everything. But anyway, it was really weird because she got on, and she's very much into God, and she wouldn't get off before she sang a song. and she's singing like, "Oh dear Joe, lead, lead Jesus, love my home." It's, oh my God, enough, Darlene, say thank you, go.
I know they get up there and just kind of take the reins.
But she literally was one of the backup singers for Cher, and it's got to be frustrating. It's like a comedian, I guess, who, is middling for somebody he's a lot better than or she's a lot better than, but the person is more famous.
100%.
That's what it was like. Where's my broth?
Where's your chicken
Where's
broth?
my fucking broth?
I mean, this is your podcast.
Son of a bitch.
You asked for broth like at least 15 minutes ago, which
You
is
know-
the weirdest request. Do you really drink broth?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like chicken stock.
I know what it is. Airplane. It's the room in the front of the plane.
Oh, an airplane?
Yeah. Well, when he goes, she's like, it's the cockpit. He's like, what
okay.
is it? It's the room in front of the plane.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So do you drink it every day? Is that like your tea?
No, I just I need a bowl of salt. My doctor said my blood pressure was too low. Here he comes with the broth.
He's really bringing you broth. I can't handle that. Oh my God. Oh, stop.
There's
Straws?
Two
They
straws.
gave me
That's for 2 straws.
I asked for 2 straws.
Here you go.
Oh my
You want
God.
to taste it?
Can we share it like Lady and the Tramp?
Do you want to taste it?
I don't know if I want to taste your broth, Dom. I feel like that's like some sort of marriage ritual, and then I'm like married to you.
Once you do taste my broth,
I'll never go sloth. I don't know.
You'll never go back to jizz.
God, I keep falling in love with you. The love gets deeper.
You thought you would, but you never go back. As much as you may like a lot of spunk, young lady like you, indiscriminately.
I can't handle this. It's like 3 p.m. That's the best part. Oh my God.
Well, it goes on anytime. You can look at it later if you want. I gotta get my coffee. Excuse me.
Oh, go ahead.
Say something to them when you.
Hey, how you doing? I'm here. Dom has said spunk and jizz, and he's about to drink chicken broth out of a plastic to-go container. I have literally fallen in love with a man in 10 minutes.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. You're
I guess it's time. It's time for me to be honest with you.
okay. Go ahead. I feel like you've been lying this whole time.
Are you serious? I just want to say one thing.
Okay.
I'm older than you. I'm serious.
No,
Yes.
you're lying.
I'm not lying. I'm older than you. I know. I have great skin. Feel my hand.
How did you do that? Wow. You
Yeah.
haven't worked a day in your life.
I haven't. Oh, I did 30 years ago. Before you were born. I worked for about a day.
Those are the softest man hands I've ever felt. Really nice skin.
They're a little creepy.
Is that what the broth is for? You dip your hands in, you
Yes.
do a little
Exactly.
dip.
So tell me your plans in this business. You're gonna do well. I can feel it.
Oh, thank you.
You got it. She's got it, doesn't she, Justin? She's got the energy.
Yeah, he doesn't even care. Justin.
She
doesn't
wanted a
care.
hug as soon as I met her.
I mean, come on.
What?
You're a legend. I have to hug you.
Not a legend. I'm just old. Rodney Dangerfield's a legend. I'm elderly. Enjoy me now. There's not much left. That's how I was thinking about ways to die, and I was thinking the best way to die is just nothing.
Like just go.
Just sit there. And
Gently.
Is he sleeping? He's dead. What happened to Dom Irrera? Nothing. He died. From what? Nothing.
Wouldn't it be great if you had like a
But he
little...
was still doing his act. Even after he was dead, that same fucking deadbeat act. So how many minutes you got now in your repertoire?
I've got 40, 45.
Okay, now
I tend to extend it, and not all of it's the best. I'm still working on it.
Well, that's
I've been working on it for a long time.
Me too. Believe me. You know what's funny about it? It's like no matter what I do, no matter how much I try and write or whatever works, I always seem to have around 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens. Then somebody will tell me something they saw before, and I'll bring it back like I steal from myself. Too lazy to steal from other people.
That's a great line. You steal from yourself.
I do really, in the sense of like bringing back stuff that like nobody would have heard.
Do you switch it up a lot? Like, do you get bored with your stuff?
Yeah.
Like, do you like to open? Like, do you have like an opener
No.
that you use every single time?
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean I have different things I open with, but never. I don't even close with the same stuff. I mean, what I do sometimes is try and challenge myself to close clean after working real dirty in the middle, which is a good exercise to see if you can get the same ovation.
That's interesting. I would like that. That would be totally different. I've been closing dirty ever since I started. I think I open and close dirty. There's just a speckle of clean in the middle.
I only made one request my whole career. A woman friend of mine, Felicia Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
She went on before me, and the only thing I asked her, she had a pussy fart joke at the end, right? Pretty much as gross as you can get.
Right.
But I'll live with it. But she had to close with it. I said, Felicia, can you just move it a little?
Yeah.
Move it a couple of paragraphs up. That's all I asked, and she still wouldn't do it.
I'm gonna try that.
Pussy
I don't
fart?
have a pussy fart joke though.
Yeah,
a
we
queef.
all-
I don't have a. I queef, but I don't joke about it. It's a serious situation, Dom. I don't like to
Queef?
joke about my queefs.
What's queef?
That's a pussy fart.
Oh.
We're learning things today. It's a queef.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, queef Latina.
Excuse me, I think I have to queef.
That's my friend Marcella. That's what she says. Queef Latina. That's
she
her. That's
does-
her rap name. It's a pussy fart rapper.
She's a black girl?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I was thinking that we have a girl named Tiffany Haddish here, and black girls are the only ones that I'd be afraid to fuck. Only in the sense, cause the sentence you would never want to hear is, "You call that a dick?" You know what I mean? And that would really
But you're Italian.
I know.
I
but
feel like
they-
there wouldn't be an issue down there.
Well, De Niro always went out with black women. You can edit anything out you don't like, by the way.
I just keep it all in. I mean, and maybe it's just because I'm young in my career, but I really don't. I'm pretty uncensored. And
Yeah.
I try and be that way because I feel like the more I am uncensored in life, the better my material and more honest my material will get. It's definitely, something that I've always tried to do.
How long you been doing stand-up?
I started performing 10 years ago. I did improv for 3 years, and
yeah,
then
improv really helps, doesn't it?
it helps.
Yeah,
especially if it's a first
I did
thing.
improv, and it really gives you the balls to stand on stage
100%.
until you think of something.
Yeah.
Like it's opposed to panicking. Where's my act? Is somebody give me my act?
Yeah.
I got to get back in place. I would think it must be so hard to do stand-up that is rote in the sense that ROTE wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like one thing after another, and if you lose your place, like I can't lose my place because I don't have a place. You know what I mean?
I
just
feel the
like
same way.
that's good. That's better. That comes from improv chops.
Yeah.
Having the balls to just mix it up.
Yeah. I've gotten more comfortable with that, and improv definitely gives me the.
Got more comfortable in your old age.
In my old, you and I are old here, Dom.
know. We are.
We're old farts.
Yeah. But I'd like you to come up. I'd like to sleep with you first of all.
I would like to lay next to you. I'll be the big spoon.
No. It's just and I mean 8 hours of sleep. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
like a nice
I don't
night.
know, I'm not gonna. If I don't know you, But man, could I go for a night's sleep? Oh,
I'll feed you chicken broth all night.
you could do your act. That'll put me out.
I'll do a pussy fart closer.
I like that.
You like that?
That's original.
Right?
Yeah, it's hard to write, isn't it?
It is. I
Let
mean,
me tell you something. It don't get easier. You think it gets easier? It don't get easier. Because the thoughts, there's only so many things. Everybody's flushing all these ideas out,
that's kind of calming in a sense that it doesn't get easier.
Well, because, you think, oh, now I got the trick down. There's no trick. It's hard work. I mean, I don't want to sound corny, but, it's like imagine writing a love song right now. Imagine writing a song with the word love in it. There's been a fucking billion songs with love.
Yeah.
What can you write that's original? You got to, that's why it's always best is just be yourself. You come in, what you did right here, that magic you created at that moment, the moment that we met, you keep that, kid. Now get out of here. Let's stop this podcast.
Were you being kind of cute and sweet with me right there?
No, I'm serious.
That's really sweet.
Yeah,
That actually was nice.
Yeah, you did catch me being nice.
You were being nice, but you masked it with, you had humor as a defense mechanism
cover
because
up
you didn't
my-
want me to know that you were being sweet.
That I have a heart.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Love isn't real.
I know. Are you in love with anybody?
No, I'm not even in love with myself. I got to get in love there first.
Well, first of all, I despise myself.
Yeah.
I don't like my work. I don't like my looks. I don't like my type. I'm not my type. So don't worry about that. There's nothing but self-hatred here.
Oh my God, you're amazing. You really are. I feel like
I'm serious,
you're
though.
stealing words right out of my mouth.
I'm serious.
Are you in love?
No. I mean, I love somebody that I fucked up the relationship. Why did you have to start? I'm sorry. Hold the press. Stop the cameras. Let's everybody get a drink and come back.
Everybody get some chicken broth. We'll be
Do you
right
have any
back.
tequila? We do have a closet full of
I know.
tequila.
Don't even. Are you a day drinker?
No. On the
Don't-
plane.
That don't count, right? Being
Well,
on
it's
the
not
plane,
the
that's
same.
not
I'm
the
sitting there. I got
same.
free drinks. I bumped up.
What do? I always do tomato juice. I feel like I'm on a plane. Let's get classy. I want tomato juice.
No,
And
I
vodka.
drink. I'll drink like a vodka, just vodka on the rocks for the start. I don't know, maybe a little touch of cranberry, but always ending with Courvoisier and coffee.
Courvoisier in the coffee?
No.
Just chaser.
The only thing you put in coffee is Jameson and real cream with 1 sugar. That's Irish coffee.
I love drinking on a plane.
Yeah, me too.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's funny because these guys, these Armenian guys that drive me back and forth, they always know when I'm drunk, and I could tell that they know, and I don't know, This one guy, I can't make him laugh. His name's Gore, right? Gore.
He's Armenian, right?
Sounds like a guy who's cheery, right?
Sounds like a
Hey,
real...
Gore. Good morning, Gore. He said to him, the one time I had like some people in the car and we're in a fucking great mood, and we're going out to Burbank Airport, and we're all laughing and shit. And I said something, and this is the most I ever got out of him. That very funny, Mr. Irrera. Well, Gore, easy before you want to pull over?
Don't break your back with laughter right now.
Oh
Don't
my
hurt
God.
yourself.
I own him. That son of a bitch.
That felt good, though. Did it feel good?
It felt good to make Gore happy.
Finally crack
Gore's
him a
a
little
miserable
bit?
man.
Gore. Sounds
It's-
like an extra from Young Frankenstein.
Right, it does. Gore.
Gore.
Get the plates. The food's here.
Walk this way.
Do you remember that movie?
It's one of my favorites.
Really?
I'm obsessed with Gene Wilder. I've seen like everything.
Oh.
Just one of the greatest, I think. He's like my favorite.
One of the best comedy scenes ever was the beginning of The Producers. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And then also the scene with Max. He's wearing a dress. No kidding. Tell him he looks nice. Oh. Then he comes up. He goes, haven't I met you on a summer cruise? I've never been on a summer cruise. Ah, quel dommage. Remember that?
Yeah, I mean, they're just classic. Like all those movies, I feel like his movies had classic lines.
They're trying to get the worst director. And then he goes, I was reading The Third Reich. They're losing the war. It's depressing. You know what we were talking about last night is, are you familiar with any Woody Allen's old stuff?
Yeah, Annie Hall, like that kind of
Even
old
back,
stuff, even old.
yeah, the sillier movies. And
a few of them. I'm a fan of his for sure.
If you check out one thing, Love and Death. Love and Death.
I haven't seen it. You know, it popped up in my feed as one of the movies
really
to get.
check it out because you'll get a kick out. It's so witty, and Diane Keaton is brilliant. And Napoleon's hitting on Diane Keaton, and he says, "You have such beautiful skin," and she goes, "Yes, and it covers my entire body." And then he has a line which I love. This is such a joke, but it's so funny. He goes, "How do you find me as a man?" She goes, "I think it's your best bet." Pretty good joke.
That is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Who was like your favorite, like growing up?
He was my favorite growing up.
Woody Allen?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, you hate to hear these things about those big mouth kids ratting them out.
I mean, give me a break.
No, I don't know,
Aren't we
but-
over it? Aren't we all over it? It's been
Let me
so
tell you,
long.
I was molested by my whole family. They used to pass me around at the Thanksgiving Day dinner. They passed me around. They used me. They fondle and diddle me. Anyway, I don't.
Diddle Dom.
Diddle.
Diddle Dom.
Tell me about yourself. Do
Do you have a big family?
I did till God started picking him off like a sniper.
Oh man,
Sister, I did that one time.
that's a funny bit.
A friend of mine, well, I don't know if it was a bit, but they asked me to say grace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had just lost a couple people. And they asked me, we're down in Avalon, New Jersey with my friend O'Hanlon and his family, and they're fairly religious people, and the kids are teenagers, so they think they're fucking crying, laughing. I go, oh, that's all great. Julia, I'd like to thank you for systematically picking off my family like a sniper, giving my sister a false hope as she went into remission, and then striking her dead, dear Lord, thank you. And, my mother, who didn't know where she was or who she was at the end of her life, my cousin Johnny, who thought he had just a little lump on his neck, and 95% of people are cured, but dear Lord, you who are supposedly all merciful took him out too, and thanks for the food. The lunch looks great. And the kids were...
Oh my God, I'm crying, laughing right now.
The kids were fucking crying, and the adults were appalled.
Oh, I'm kind of dark. Like I love just jokes and humor about death. I'm totally drawn to that. Like I love anything that is based around death because I think it's like obviously the most inevitable thing in your life. You're gonna die. So I think it's the most important thing to find humor in and kind of break down in that sense.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the ultimate. I mean, I worried about it since I was about 3 or 4. Like I remember.
Wow, that's
yeah,
like a
I remember
nervous
looking,
Jewish worry.
I remember looking in a mirror, like I don't know, about 3 or 4 years old when I first started, speaking 4 languages. When I first started talking.
You spoke 4.
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say,
but
wow.
I mean, I remember looking in the mirror and going, "I'm gonna die someday." And I'm so cute.
You had that thought. You really
I
had
swear
that
to God,
thought.
yeah.
That's almost like you were meant to be a comedian because that's pretty profound at a young age.
Pretty
Were you always
dark.
like that?
Did I what?
Were you always like that at a young age, like
Yeah.
questioning deep things?
And I always worried about extremes, like when it would get hot out, like say like 100 degrees, and I would think, suppose it just keeps getting hotter. Like 100. What's to stop it? What's to stop it from being 140 and just melting us all?
I have thoughts like that too. Like I have very macabre, dark thoughts. Like I'll be thinking just on a plane, like, okay, this plane's gonna land, then I'm gonna get off, and then there's gonna be a guy who's gonna follow me into the bathroom. No one's gonna be in the bathroom, and he's gonna plunger my head into the wall and then rape me and then leave, and no one's gonna help me. Like that's thoughts that I actually have.
See, I would do it the other way around. I'd rape you first, and then hit the wall.
See, that's a gentleman. You're a gentleman.
Because I want
You're
you
considerate.
to have some enjoyment.
I appreciate that. You probably give me a meal first too, right?
Yes.
Maybe like a waffle or
I
something.
fatten you up. You little butterball.
Old chicken broth.
Hey! Now I can't eat it. Now you're making me embarrassed to eat my broth. You really want to taste it?
I actually need to have some of your broth. I can't believe you do this. I feel like you're joking.
I'm not joking. It's broth.
You've had broth on your podcast before.
No.
Okay.
I saw you and I thought, nice. I could go for some broth. I could go for some broth to go with this hot blonde. It's going to come out.
Hot blondes and broth.
It's really hot.
That's gonna be my DVD title. Oh, you're gonna get it all. Look at this. Broth is a mess.
No, it's because they fill it too much. They think they're being generous.
Well, the guy wants broth. We'll give him broth. We'll show Dom.
Look at you, the way you keep the show rolling.
Are you gonna? I'm trying to help.
Opening the broth.
Are you gonna take a sip right out of that thing?
I'll let you go first in case you skeeved me.
If this is a joke, Dom, I'm seriously gonna have some of your broth.
It's hot.
I'm sipping your broth.
Go.
Is this like a rite of passage?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your liquefied jizz. That's what that is. It's delicious, but that's Dom jizz. That's what that is. You said jizz. I have to be able to say jizz. Is that okay?
It's unbelievable the way you know me and know the taste of my spunk.
Well, you
my
know,
seed.
it's like Thanksgiving dinner. It's what it tastes like.
Isn't that good, though?
We just shared broth. Does that mean anything?
One more?
I'm okay. I think at one sip of your broth, I'm done, Dom.
Justin?
Justin, do you want some?
Audience of one?
You don't want any broth, Justin? I'm a changed person. What happens now? Oh my God, you're chugging it.
I got caught. I got caught. I was hoping you'd talk to me.
I mean, is this to?
It was funny until he chugged the
It's
broth.
funny until, oh my God, he actually enjoys this.
He looked like a little ape sitting over there with his broth.
You look like a little kid in Africa. That's what you just looked like.
Sorry. I'm going to be honest with you about my sinuses.
Okay.
I know how to turn a babe on by talking about my sinuses, but I've had a little bronchitis the last couple of months. I've gotten addicted to broth.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the truth?
It's the truth.
You've gotten addicted to broth.
Are you an Orange Man fan?
How do you know about the Orange Man?
Don't you worry, I do my research, all right? You come on a show and you act cute. I ask the question.
I love to play sports. I don't really watch them, but they win. I'm like, woo! My mom watches and she sends me like text messages me the scores. I have no
You
idea.
didn't see Jim Boeheim throw a fit last week?
I didn't.
Did you see it, Justin?
He's a big dude.
You know what he did? It was like, first of all, he was way out of control. He actually kind of lost the game for Syracuse. But what he did was so funny. He took off his jacket. Like,
I've never
he's gonna take off his jacket. Like, that's meaningful. Like, what's he gonna do now? Hit the
He's gonna
ref?
start dancing
Yeah,
with the
right.
stars is what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. He's gonna bust into the foxtrot. I know one thing. I haven't really seen or known of him to lose his composure.
He lost it like nothing else, and he was coaching against Krzyzewski, and they're friends, so he couldn't be mad at the other coach, so he took
He
it
had
out.
to take it out somehow.
Took it out on the ref. Yeah.
I actually used to babysit for Bernie Fine.
Really?
Did you know that whole? Did
Yeah,
you hear about
yeah,
that whole
of course.
controversy?
Look, I follow molestations. I'm a fan.
You want to know your competition.
That's
That's why.
right. Hey, how did he get away with it so long?
Ah, that's so good.
Can you imagine how devious those motherfuckers are? That when you think about, because they're like predators. They always pick the weak one from the pack. Like you couldn't have been molested.
No.
I'm sure when you were a kid, you had too big a mouth.
Yeah, it was going
Right?
on all around me. I mean,
Yeah.
it was in the perimeter of my life, but
Yeah.
I was always a little too.
We
tough.
had a priest that used to molest kids at camp that nobody told on him because he was a priest. Isn't that amazing?
It's fucked up, is what it is.
Well, yeah, it's really fucked up, and yet still amazing.
It is amazing.
Amazing that the power, because they thought he was a man of God, and here he is doing this shit to kids.
They're like, oh, don't worry about
Enjoy
it.
the comedy of Dom Irrera.
He speaks the word. He speaks the word. Let him touch the kid. It's so crazy.
They lost so much, so now they got South America and Asia being Catholics. What'd you grow up as?
My father was Catholic. My mother was Christian. I was raised Protestant, but we did stop going to church when my parents separated. So like my dad and God
Wait
left.
a second, time out. Your parents separated? A comedian from a broken home?
Crazy.
I never heard such a thing.
Wild. My mom moved in the neighbor's father.
Did he really?
Yeah. That's how I grew up.
She moved in with another guy?
No, she moved him in. Yes, my dad and her broke up, and then my friend's father moved in.
As a lover for your mom?
Yeah.
How did you handle that?
Well, I'm here with you. I wouldn't be here with you, so I thank him.
Oh, you mean?
I thank her and I thank him.
So you're here with me in the sense like daddy issues? or?
I think I've got slight abandonment things, but my father never left. He just went down the street. He worked very hard to like try and maintain, his presence in my life. Great father.
Really? Well,
But definitely,
can I tell you that there's a place for you right here on Daddy's lap?
well,
right here on
that's what I was
Daddy's
getting to
lap.
that.
Yes, there is.
I was getting to that.
Yes, there is.
That's why I'm here. I'm looking for a father, father figure,
Oh, well, you got it.
and I'm going to spoon you.
I want to keep in touch with you. I want to know about your career. I'll follow. Justin will tell me how you're doing.
You're going to watch me like you watch the molesters on the news, or is it more of like a
No, it's more of a
affectionate?
loving, affectionate thing.
I'll take that.
Nobody came in like you. Nobody ever walked into this place with the energy you have.
That's it's who I am, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly why you're doing it.
Did you like it? Were you like awkward?
I
like
loved
don't touch
it.
me?
No.
Are you affectionate?
Yeah,
You seem like you took a hug.
of course.
You were a little shocked,
I would
but you
never
took
be
it.
presumptuous. I mean, that's, I would never touch you without you touching me.
Well, it seems like there's gonna be a lot of touching after this
That
podcast.
doesn't sound right.
It does. It sounds amazing.
It sounds good.
It sounds so right, Dom.
Excuse me, Mike.
Is the bronchitis back?
No, I shouldn't have had that fucking broth. Makes me cough. I realized the whole time it was the broth.
I can't believe I've never seen anyone just drink broth like that.
You didn't think it was delicious?
It's salty. I mean, yeah, I guess it's just a salty situation for you.
I want to hear more about you, about your career. I want to know you.
What do you want to know? Like now or later?
No, I want to know now. The Improv. How did you get into stand-up? I don't want to ask the only reason I'm asking cliche questions is because I really don't know. Now, 99% of the people I have up here, I've hung out with.
Yeah.
So
This is a different situation.
it's cool though.
Yeah, I like it. I appreciate you having me. I got into
So I
stand-up.
feel obligated to do a little bit of an interview.
Okay. Someone said I was funny and that I should try stand-up. I moved out of Syracuse when I was 19 to Boston, and that's where I started. I did improv for 3 years, and somebody was saying, you should try stand-up. And so I took a writing course for like 6 months that someone was providing, and I did 5 minutes.
Where at? What club?
The Cantab Lounge, which is actually in Cambridge, at a bar right in Cambridge, and it was called the Third Rail, the performance space underneath the Cantab Lounge.
Now, is that where the Improv used to be?
It's near the Improv.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just
They used to have an Improv that was downstairs.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Catch a Rising Star. I'm not sure. They used to have one at the Harvard Square.
Yeah. There was that was the only place that I performed at, and I just did 5 minutes, and that scared the crap out of me, and I just continued doing improv for a few years.
And what do you do with the whole chick thing? Do you play it up or do you play it down?
I totally play it down.
Yeah.
I have a very masculine kind of
A very,
approach.
very masculine cock.
huge
I'm not saying-
masculine
I'm not
cock.
saying-
What would you do if I had said that? It'd be a masculine cock.
That's
Is
nice.
what
I thought I smelled cock. What was
I was stirring your soup with it.
This Carol Leifer used to have a line. She goes, I'm not saying she was masculine, but she had a beard on her dick.
If I had a dick, I'd keep it fresh.
I do.
Fresh and clean.
I would too.
Yeah.
If I had one. I had one. Can't find it. It's tunneled into my body.
It's dehydrated from all the broth.
Yes, it's gigantic, but it's inside of me. So I should ask a couple more questions because I just want to get
Whatever
this
you
out to the
want.
audience. So you started doing stand-up, and right away you were good, or you were...
I mean, I made people laugh, but I was all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you probably, because of the improv background, probably the same advantage I had was you had chops already on stage.
Yes.
But you had no act.
I had no direction.
Well,
I had no
yeah.
act, no direction.
And the thing I couldn't believe most about stand-up, and maybe tell me if this is true in your case, that people had to repeat stuff over and over to get it good. Because I was like, oh, I got to say that again?
Still gets me.
Yeah, it's hard.
And that's what I've done like the past couple years is really try and discipline myself because I realize, it's either this or I'm going to be a 90-year-old bartender. Like I need to make this work.
Well, you'll make it work. I don't have any doubt. But it's like, if you think of Fiddler on the Roof or one of these plays that is classic, they say the same stuff every night and people laugh at the spots, but somehow I don't want to be restricted to that.
Yeah.
Just making it good,
I've thought about that, and I think a majority of comics are rebellious. And I think even just having to do something repetitively feels authoritative. It feels like an authority.
Yeah.
And so it's almost rebelling against yourself. For me, that's how it feels. Like I'm like, oh, well, I don't have to do this. I don't have to listen to myself.
Yeah. Did you ever have bosses in anything?
Oh, yeah. And there was always issues. I was always getting written up. I worked at H&M stores for 5 years, and I was always brought into the office. And
What's H&M?
H&M is a clothing store.
Oh, okay.
It's a Swedish store. The problem was they had a God mic in the administration office, so you push the button and it would go over the whole store. So I would make up some reason to get into the office and just be on the mic and just broadcasting
around?
things to people in the store.
But you were like joke around?
Joke around, there's like a turd cleanup in the children's department, like just some ridiculous woman giving labor in the men's underwear section, like the managers would be running down the hall, like, how did she get in here again?
And they didn't fire you because they liked you?
I guess.
Because you were charming?
Yeah, I guess my charm and my, I'm an equal amount charming as I am a asshole.
The reason I ask you about the chicken it up thing is because I always wonder, Elijah Schlesinger is?
Yeah.
She goes down with, being as plain as she can be. And Laura Keitlinger, who she is? She was Jack Black's girlfriend for a long time. She's older and, closer to my age, but very good comedian. But we were in Ireland one night, and she really looked like a fashion model,
Yeah.
And she goes on, she tanks, and she's fucking funny, and it was just amazing. She says, what do you think happened? I said, I think that you were too good looking for the crowd. That they got uncomfortable.
I've had, a few people have said that, and not even like, oh, I'm gorgeous. I don't actively play it down. Like, I don't put a baseball hat on and put my hair in a ponytail, and because even that feels disingenuous.
It's a tough choice. I mean, it's a tough choice to go full out hoary look.
Right. It's a weird thing, but like you said before, like just being yourself. Like I just before would try and dress up and be too cute on stage, and then I was like, that's not me.
Because then it distracts them.
Then it distracts them.
Yeah, it's an amazing phenomena.
It's a weird thing.
Different, yeah.
But you're right. If I've just learned to not think about what I'm wearing and just wear what I would want to wear and be present in the moment, and that kind of as long as you're being truthful and being 100% your essence on stage, what you're wearing shouldn't matter because it should reflect who you are.
I want to adopt you. You're adorable. Look at you. We're ready to...
I feel like you already did adopt me. We've talked about like missiles in my twat. You fed me chicken broth.
Oh, me?
I'm already at home.
Baby. I was thinking of, I didn't want to interrupt your flow, but I was at Harvard Square once. It just reminds me of a story that there was a guy at a refrigerator box, an old black man outside of CBS, and he goes, I know you. You're that comedian. I said, yeah. He goes, I said, yeah. He goes, I saw you on television. I go, you get cable? He goes, I saw you on HBO. I go, you get premium cable? What the fuck? And he started laughing. That's good. You should use that. I love when people say that you should use that.
Yeah.
You get that about everything?
Oh, yeah.
Does your family and friends take credit for you being funny?
I mean, not in the beginning, but now that I'm become funny, they want, you know, my mom's like, oh, yeah, well, you get that dry, sarcastic wit from your mother, okay?
Right.
You know, but they really love it. They've been supportive.
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
I'm lucky.
Yeah, so that they're not going, what are you going to do? Look at you. You're a ship adrift at sea. What the hell are you going to do with your life? I know my mother used to take credit for me at work. She was an accountant at a hospital, and she would say to me, she'd call me up, she goes, I got to tell you, I killed at work today.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Yeah. They were on the floor. At the water fountain, they couldn't breathe. They were doing spit takes. Yeah, she really did. She really loved it.
I had my dad do 5 minutes once in front of a set that I was doing in my hometown.
He did 5 minutes?
Did 5 minutes. And he was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was like 800 people, and he told bar jokes, you know.
It's still ballsy.
Still ballsy, and had pretty good timing and got an applause break. I mean, I'm sure they were kind because he was my father, but it still was pretty hilarious to see him up there.
That's tough. Because I've seen people get up and boy, they freeze.
It's like the stage fright. Have you ever had stage fright?
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only time I was ever nervous, I mean, I was nervous like when I did the Tonight Show, and I was nervous when I did plays because I was young, I was a teenager. But the only time I really got intimidated was I was at Madison Square Garden opening for Cher. And, I was used to do in arenas, so it wasn't like a big deal. But what freaked me out was my sister's energy. My sister was really nervous. She goes, I can't believe you're going to go on at Madison Square Garden. Oh, my God. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, I got to get away from this, And so what I did was I always had a glass of wine with this one of the merchandise guys.
Mm-hmm.
He would have a Jack and Coke. I'd have a glass of wine. And what I did was, Justin, will you
Where
please?
Where are you going, Justin? Sit down. He's telling a
fuck?
very important story.
Are you getting us work?
Okay. He's booking us a tour together.
But being in Madison Square Garden, I really felt it. I really felt it for the first time in the sense that I thought, oh my God, I'm in Madison Square Garden. This is where Ali fought Frazier. This is where the Beatles were. This is where oh fuck, Madison Square Garden. And the banners. And I didn't look up.
God.
I did the 25 minutes. And we did 2 shows. The next night I was much better. But I got to say, I felt it that time.
How many people were at those shows?
23,000, I think.
What's the largest you've performed in front of?
65,000.
And I just... do you alter your set a lot for that? I would imagine.
No.
No?
No, I just am tighter.
Right.
But I improvise. I mean, if something comes up,
Do you enjoy that? Do you think that's like a thrill to perform in front of that many people?
I got a little tired of it because I missed doing regular stand-up. But
like the intimacy of it?
It was great money.
Right.
And it was fun. It was easy. They used to call me Easy Money. The crew. Because the crew, they have to do some, like amphetamines or something to stay awake, because they work, like especially some of the cities. We drive into Ames, Iowa, do Iowa State University and their big arena, and we drive in the morning. They'd leave the night before, put the set up, do the show, and then they never had time to sleep. It's crazy.
Those guys work like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and Cher would just sit in her thing and do her 45 minutes with movies and background singers and lesbians and midgets and everything fucking jumping around her. I mean, she worked, but she didn't work like none of us worked like they did.
She was like, I mean, that's Cher.
Yeah.
That's like huge. Did you get to talk to her at all? Hang out with her?
Of course, yeah.
Was she cool?
Yeah, very cool.
She booze at all? She looks like she would drink like healthy stuff.
You know what?
She always seems so healthy.
I remember her and I sitting in the sands and having a drink, but not much. She was afraid to come out a lot. I used to get her to come out. I said, well, if you didn't dress up with a fucking top hat and a cane.
If you didn't dress up like the Mardi Gras.
Right. Then people wouldn't bother you as much. But then she comes out and she's got a baseball cap on down here, and totally dressed down.
Yeah.
And some guy in Montreal recognizes her. He goes, "Aren't you? What's her name? What's like?" She's asking her what's her name is. She goes, "Aren't you old? What's her name?" He goes, "Yeah, who could ever forget old what's her name?" You know. And so I blew my thing of telling her she wouldn't get recognized. But
She's a babe. Were you attracted to her?
No.
No?
No, she wasn't my type. I mean, she was just, not my type. Like if I had a chance.
You're like Cher. Oh, you mean Cher, the huge Grammy award-winning nominated? No, not my type.
Oscar. She won the
Oscars,
Oscar.
yeah. Was it for Moonstruck?
Moonstruck. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
You know a lot of stuff for a young girl.
I love cinema. I love film. I love old music and movies. I was lucky. My parents both exposed me to that at a young age.
Who do you listen to now? Like since you work for MTV, who do you?
I don't really listen.
Who do you think's great right now?
Everybody who I think is great is dead.
That's.
I guess. I mean, I like Miley Cyrus.
How about Mars? Bruno Mars.
Oh, he's a great singer.
Yeah.
Totally talented.
Yeah, he did a good job on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think he's great. I love Miley. I think she's insane. I think she's necessary. She's
You like Eminem?
Oh yeah, Eminem's amazing.
Yeah.
He's definitely,
He's a genius.
He's like a modern white Tupac, in the sense he's very poetic.
He's great.
And deep.
Yeah. And who do you like for the people that are dead? Jim Morrison?
Yeah, Jim Morrison, Hendrix,
Janis
Joplin, Sinatra. Even that's like cliche, but I still, my mom listened to Sinatra. I'm a big 70s rock.
Yeah.
Both Justin and I, he's obsessed with Zeppelin. I love Zeppelin.
Oh, me too. Oh. You
I just love them.
Oh yeah. I used to wake up to that in college. I'd hear like this, hey mom, I'm gonna make you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
Yeah.
And I remember just laying in bed laughing because you just smell all this pot. This is like 7 o'clock in the morning. And then my college was really a bunch of idiots, like Animal House College. And we had a football team next door called Pace High School. And they would heckle the football players. Like the fucking college kids. They go, you fucking pussy, you fat fuck. And the kids would get so mad, they'd run and hit themselves up against a cyclone fence like animals.
Oh, they were animals. All those guys are animals.
No, but I mean the football players.
Yeah.
Stupid, So you never played team sports?
I played tons of sports. I loved playing sports.
Yeah.
Played basketball, lacrosse, soccer, softball for 3 months. Realized what a pansy sport it was in my high school. It's like, this is too boring. Yeah, and then we're just standing in the field. It's like, do I need to do some yard work? Because this is so boring.
Baseball's tedious.
It is. I loved basketball. That was my favorite sport.
Basketball Jones. Ooh. You know who sang that?
No, who sang that? It sounded really lovely.
It was, who's the two weed heads? Mexican guys.
You talking about Cheech and Chong?
Cheech and Chong, yeah.
They sang that? The two Mexican weed.
Well, actually, Tommy John is Asian, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's definitely Asian. He's half Asian.
I got a series with Cheech once when I first moved out here. So fucking unlucky. We got the series, NBC, Saturday night, and the writer's strike came. So we did 2 episodes, I know.
What?
Yeah, we never did it
You guys
again.
must have been so bummed.
Yeah, because we were so happy to work with, especially to work with Cheech. He's so fucking funny and nice guy. And
What did you do after that? Were you was there anything else on the back burner for you?
well, yeah, stand-up. That's what's so good about stand-up.
Yeah, you can always work.
Do you realize that you're at the point now that if you get fired from a job, you just go back to your real job, your other job? I mean,
it's been a newer thing for me. Like only in the past 7 months. I mean, I've always done stand-up, but I always had to work another job.
yeah.
So, I became a professional full-time comic just 7 months ago. Once I met Justin at Super Artist, and that just changed everything.
Wow.
You know.
He really believes in you.
Oh yeah, he's like.
So do I.
I guess you do, right?
I do.
I believe
already
in you.
I do. Well, I kind of already been there. I've been to the.
You've been there.
The base. I haven't been to the top of the mountain, but I've been to the base 1 or base 2, whatever. That's so funny because I just don't give a fuck anymore. but I do give a fuck. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but I feel like you don't give a fuck in the sense that that's just who you are as a person, not that it's a put on.
Yeah, I mean, I have people say to me, got this part in a movie, and I'm going, oh, cool, thank you for thinking of me. I'm thinking, that's fucking bullshit.
It's always bullshit.
But I mean, you know what the real thing is? The finances.
Yeah.
When the finances are in, then you know it's real.
Are you good with money?
Yeah. I mean, I spend a lot of money, but I saved a lot.
Yeah. See, that's something I've started to learn.
Yeah.
Neither of my parents are the most financially responsible people, so it's like I always thought money did grow on trees. That's like,
are you really frivolous?
I was until I realized, okay, Uncle Sam's going to come knocking.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to come knocking, and he's going to bring reinforcements, so I better put this away.
No, when I started out, in New York, when I was parking cars, they didn't have to claim tips. So literally, I had 2 suitcases full of ones. Looked like I robbed a dollar store. I was parking under the Brooklyn Bridge. Did you know New York?
Yeah, of course. I lived there for 9 years.
Oh, the River Cafe. It's like if you go over the Brooklyn Bridge into Brooklyn, it's to your right.
Okay.
You just go down, and it's beautiful. It's on a barge, 5-star restaurant, and I worked there. And and I just learned that I was so poor, and not to go, I'm so poor, but just that I always wanted to have some money. No matter what happened.
That's impressive that you knew that at a young age.
Yeah, I was lucky.
How long were you? You grew up in New York?
I grew up in Philly.
You grew up in Philly, but you moved to New York.
Yeah, my stand-up developed in New York. I always considered myself a New York comic, and I went to college in Miami. I was really lucky because I got a job in college in a children's theater improv group. So I was actually making. So like I've done shit like. Ducky daddles, like all this.
Did you do twat jokes in the middle of all that?
Never did twat jokes. You're my first twat joke.
Oh God.
No, but I mean, when you did improv, you did adult improv, right?
Yeah, it was actually musical improv, which is it makes me groan, but it was fun.
Oh God.
We each had we had a box of instruments, and we'd go into the normal improv, the games that you play, and then we would have to grab an instrument and incorporate it into whatever we did.
Did you play instruments?
I played drums for a little while, but just
cool.
recreationally, not like a band.
Yeah. Well, we had to dance, right? And I suck. See, I was a pretty good athlete, and they said what they did was they made all my parts like more physical, like gymnastic things, and I was
more like agility type stuff.
Yeah, like doing a flip.
You could do flips?
I could do a forward flip, not the back. I couldn't do it now. But I could do.
I think a little more chicken broth, loosen you up a little bit.
You think?
I think so. I believe in you.
Imagine me getting hung up in the air, just coming straight down on my head. It's just compressing my spine for my podcast. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
God bless. I felt so bad the other night because you make fun of people, and then you see the reality. And I did this one thing about retarded. You can't say retarded anymore. You have to say he's a really happy kid really happy kid who whatever, and he dribbles a little, whatever. You can't say the word retarded. And then I felt so fucking bad because there was a guy in a chair, all twisted.
No.
I swear to God. And I went over and I just kind of held his hand and just to say hi, And he goes, "Thank you so much." And I was like, "Oh fuck."
Did you shake his hand after your set, or was this? Did you see him? Did you see him while you did the joke, or was it afterwards?
Afterwards.
Well, that's better. At least you didn't imagine in the middle, and you're like, just kidding.
No, I would never hurt anybody maliciously. I would only do it sneakingly, hoping that they're not there. Like I always ask, are there any coloreds in the room before I do my black jokes?
That's very thoughtful.
Yes.
I got hired to do this gig, and I didn't know what it was for. This is a while ago, and it turned out it was for some sort of fundraiser. And so I have a joke about a drug that I take causing birth defects, a drug that I'm on.
Is that true?
Yeah. Accutane. It's a very harsh drug.
What's it for?
It's for skin, like skin issues, acne, pimples, all that stuff. I got that from my dad. Horrible skin.
I'm not saying she's young, but she's got acne.
So I'm doing a bit about, birth defects, and it turns out the foundation was for children with birth defects. Like literally that was like the name of the foundation, children with birth defects. And when I went into the joke, I saw a mom in the audience just shaking her head.
Oh, yeah.
And like I heard a couple gasps and groans, and I was like, it's not that bad of a joke. Jeez, people relax. And then I get off stage, I'm like, maybe that was a good thing to tell me before I did this set.
And there's some things that people do that you're bound to affect somebody. You know, George Carlin, one of the reasons he got kind of demoted in Vegas from the MGM to like the Desert Inn, lesser gigs, he did a thing on teenage suicide. And his mother had just lost her kid to teenage suicide. And she ran up, tried to get at him, screaming and crying, you know, so.
You're always going to touch a nerve.
Well, you know, I mean, remember Bob Odenkirk?
Yeah.
Well, one time, he and a bunch of people came to see me at Caroline's just to say hi. Mm-hmm. And they were I had him in the audience and to heckle me. And he heckled me.
You planted him there.
Yeah, just for one joke. And he goes, the joke was, I said something about chicken. He goes, that's not funny. I said, what do you mean? He goes, my grandmother died eating chicken. you know what I mean? Like, so anything, this is the, we anything can get somebody offended by anything. You know, it's like.
That's really great.
Yeah.
My grandmother died from chicken. But
it's not funny, man.
That happens. Like, people are that ridiculous.
Yeah, they gotta, there'd be no comedy. Like somebody asked me about the N-word, you know, and it's like, if it, you know, like I've said that word nigger many times, but always coming from a character who is ignorant or something. They're never at a maliciousness or entering, but you know, like one black guy said in the NFL, he said, I'm not having a bunch of white guys telling me what to do, you know? Yeah. And I had this talk with Dave Chappelle. Because he says white guys shouldn't be able to say it. I said, Dave, you know you can't do that in comedy.
Yeah, that's not, because it's not.
I would never do it to hurt people, but in character, that's funny. You know, I'm not going to make somebody who says that the hero.
Right, of course.
But it's just somebody who's the butt of a joke or something funny. You know, it's like
it gives the word more power, and it like makes it worse if you just keep it in this one corner.
Yeah,
it's like you're just you're increasing what it does to people in a negative sense.
Well, they're trying to implement in the NFL a penalty if they hear somebody saying that word. Now, how are they going to do that? How are they going to police that? And then somebody said, well, then if you're going to take
giving tickets out every 5 seconds.
You're going to take that word out because I find Redskins offensive. You know?
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a negative term if you think about it.
I mean, I would think, like if somebody had a thing for Italians, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if they called a team the Greasy Meatballs.
The Philly Dagos?
Yeah, the Philadelphia playing center for the Philadelphia Wops.
Joey Meatballs.
Joey Big Balls Meatballs.
Tony Rigatoni, quarterback.
Come on, folks, give it up.
Sammy Spaghetti.
No. Anyway, man, it was great meeting you. I don't want to end. What time is it? 4:15.
4:15.
You got to go.
I mean, you're leading the ship here.
No. I thought you were great.
I thought you were great. I mean that. Should we make out?
That would be a first. What did I want to end this with? See, that's a great thing about having editing. It is
great.
This is obviously not going to be on.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, just for the next minute or two, can you be yourself and just like let down all these walls and barriers?
No, I can't. Absolutely not. Can you? Let's do it together. You want to pull that card? Then let's do it together.
All right.
You go first.
Okay. How you doing? Oh God! Don't start me, you son of a bitch! There's so much pain. What's the use of being funny when someday we're gonna be sad again? Why, God? Why?
I hate everybody.
Why couldn't I be less Chinese looking?
I wish I didn't have acne. Please don't leave me.
You're so hot with pimples.
Don't ever leave me.
You're even hot with pimples.
I think you're hot with eye sweat.
Thank you. Your pimples are attractive. They bring out your eyes.
Thank you. I'll let you hold
that one
them.
mole has a hair in it.
I know.
Thank you
I'll
so
hold
much.
You. Thank you.
Don't hurt my hands. That was great.
It was a lot of fun. Is that it?
Put a lot of pressure on me.
I want to put a lot of pressure.
Oh, do you want to plug anything?
No, nothing.
Any clubs coming up?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio this weekend coming up.
No,
when is it there?
3 weeks down the road. 3 or 4 weeks.
I'm at the La Brea Improv. Brea. I don't know. Brea Improv. When is that? Look at this.
What's your Twitter?
It's my name at Jessimae Peluso.
Can you spell it for them?
JESSIMAEPELUSO. That's Peluso. It means large and hairy in Italian.
Does it really?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Irrera means large black iron like cock. Cock. Suck that cock. Did you ever hear about that Otto and George? Otto and George that used to do, he had this puppet, and like he would go, "Hey waitress, you whore," and then he would go, the puppet would go, "Suck that cock," and the neck would get real long and the eyebrows would go up on the word cock.
You're a handful.
Jessimae Peluso, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me on.
I'm at Dom Irrera, and I will be at, where will I be, Justin?
Justin, yell out our schedule.
I'll be at the Stress Factory.
In Jersey?
In Jersey.
I might come visit you.
Come visit me. That'd be nice. You could do a guest set.
When are you there? I would love that.
I'll give you $20.
I'll do it for a hot dog. You don't have to do all that.
I'll give you a fucking hot dog.
I know,
Hey!
Look at
Everything's
that.
funny.
Walking right in.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dom.
Bye-bye.
Bye.